This conference will now be recorded.
There we go. Okay.
Try to get some glare. Getting away from the glare of the sun. That did not help.
Okay, we are recording live.
Great. Sorry, just give me a moment. Okay. I'm just opening up my documents here, which is very slow. Right. Nice to see everyone. How was everyone's summer?
Very nice, thank you.
Excellent.
Good. Oh my, next week is fall. Can you believe that?
And where's our
Right,
chairperson?
well,
Are you in Mono or
Pardon?
are you out west?
No, I'm in Calgary.
You're in
Staying
Calgary.
for school. Yeah, I just finished a 2-week bikepacking vacation with Craig. He flew home on Sunday, and I am still in Calgary staying with a school friend because next Wednesday I'm flying back out to Victoria for a course for a week, so I won't be back home until the end of the month.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, much needed vacation. But let's get right into the swing of things. So calling to order, and Mike and Melinda gave their regrets. Anne, hello, Anne. I'm not sure if we've met.
Anne was at our last meeting.
Yes, she
Oh,
was.
okay, I thought so. Sorry, it was just so long ago. That was back in May. Okay, my apologies. Yes, we have met, and just the one time in the meeting. So my apologies. And was that everyone? So just Melinda and Mike was not able to make it. Okay. All right. Could I get a approval of our agenda for today? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Sure, I'll do that.
I can second.
Dave, Sally, thank you. And has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting in May?
Mhm.
Great. And can I get a motion to adopt the minutes from the May meeting?
I can make a motion to adopt the minutes.
Thank you, Sally. Dave, you're seconding the motion?
Okay, yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. And any business arising from the minutes? None? All right. So we will.
Well, I think we ought to just business arising from the minutes is to make note that Mono on a Bike did not happen because of a lack of registration. So I
Right.
think that
Right.
does need to be noted.
Yes. How many did we end up getting registered? It was just the 5?
It was 5.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I think it was a good decision to not waste anyone's time and resources. So hopefully next year we'll get some more interest. Okay, so
So is that you're telling me you want to proceed with carrying on with Mono on a Bike in 2023, because I will have to budget for it.
Well, what do the others think? Oh, Ann, was there something wrong with your mic?
Her mic's not working,
Oh, okay.
so she's writing in the chat.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll keep an eye out on the chat, make sure we don't miss any comments from you, Ann. Do you want to try unlogging, like re-logging back in, or you've already tried that? Okay. That's strange. Okay. So, Sally, Dave, what are your thoughts on trying to continue again for Mono on a Bike next year? For next year.
I think it would be nice to try, but we'll have to figure out why it wasn't well received and solve that problem.
And plan it earlier because, like if we're gonna get somebody from CanBike, like plan it really early so we know the person's booked. And then we can do more
Yeah.
publicity.
Yeah.
Just as an
agree.
FYI on that, Sally, the camp bike instructors were contacted in February of last year. They were sent emails, and it was just a matter of them not responding.
Okay, unless we bug them a lot.
No luck, Ann? I guess not. I do see that we have
Can anybody hear me now?
Rod.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that
Okay.
oh, is that
gonna
you,
log
Ann?
off. I'm gonna log off and I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps if we start
There we
reaching out in the new year in January, we'll be, and maybe even start advertising right after Winterfest. He may gauge a bit more interest, but yeah, I agree. I think we should try to put on the event once again, and if we have low registration numbers next year as well, then we'll have to reevaluate. And what are your thoughts?
My thought is to make sure I get my microphone working before a meeting. That's my thought right now.
Well, your microphone's working, but now we can't see you.
Well, okay.
At least we can hear you.
Yes, we can. Oh, well, there we are.
There we go.
Yeah.
But
Hi.
why? I don't know how to get rid of my second square.
No, it's gone.
It's gone
It's gone.
over here.
Yep,
Oh,
you're
good.
good.
I don't know why it's here. Okay. So now
You're
I can
just-
concentrate on the conversation.
Yeah, you're on as Rod, but that's okay. We know you're not Rod.
But I'm not Rod. Rod's running a little pickleball clinic right now, which reminds me, I have to leave at 7 o'clock sharp because he has to get back for another pickleball meeting. So if our meeting isn't over, I'm going to just like silently delete myself. Okay, just so you
No,
know.
that's fair. I do have a hard stop at 7 o'clock as well.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, so we're talking about Mono on a Bike.
Yeah.
And I really think that we have to read the information that people are telling us. This isn't what we want. We had almost no signups, and I just feel like there's enough. Everybody's busy doing things, and when we get that kind of a negative response, I think we need to read the sign. It's not what people want right now. So we either change the format, change the way. I don't think it really was about communicating. I just think it's an idea that just isn't flying right now. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, so what changed? Like, 3 years ago, we had 50, 60 people, something like that. So,
That was when it was open to adults too, though.
well, it's open to adults.
Yeah.
It's open
there's
to
no-
everybody.
It's not the same old race, or not, well, competition kind of that was going on before when it first started.
It hasn't really been a competition for quite a few years. It's been a bike tour, a fun bike tour. And before COVID, we were still getting decent numbers. So COVID happened. What changed in people's attitudes so that they're no longer wanting to come out?
Well, you know what I wonder, and we don't know what having 2 years of more or less having to change what we usually do for 2 years, the impact that has had. So perhaps one of the impacts is that people found other things to do that doesn't require people coming together the same as it used to. So maybe just this year people were being more cautious because there's still a lot of germs flying around, or maybe they just found other things that they do that doesn't require them to come together as a big group. We don't know, Dave. We don't know the impact of these 2 years of COVID has had on families, communities, activities. I still think we can't be naive and say, well, it worked 3 years ago, so we're just going to try it again. So
Yeah.
those are my thoughts.
One thing we did change this year was we changed it to Menorah Park from Mono Center. I don't know if that was a factor in the low registrations. We thought with changing it to Menorah Park and being closer to the more populated areas of the municipality, that we would get a larger draw than what we had even in 2018, because in 2018 we had very few people at it. Or 2019, which I guess was the last time we had run it. So in 2019, I think including parents and children, we might have hit 30. We maybe hit 30, including parents and kids. So I think there was a total of like four families that came to Mono on a bike. So that's why we switched it over to Menorah, hoping that being closer to town and the more populated areas, we'd get more people. It was also much easier with not having to get permission from Monocliffe Provincial Park and having to pay per rider to go through the park. The logistics of running the group ride were much easier with doing it through Menorah Park. Anyways, I'm not sure if what the numbers are telling us is something we should be looking at, and what Anne has said is, because we did have very low registration the last time we ran it, and then last year we didn't run it at all. Is there something else?
Perhaps,
I mean, we've taken on Make Mono Shine in the April. I don't know, maybe as part of Make Mono Shine, one of the things we do is just bring out the what do you call that? The track that Melinda brings out for us, the obstacle course, and have that available at Make Mono Shine as something for the kids to maybe somehow we can incorporate the two events.
That changes the focus of Make Moto Shine, because it's more on environment and stuff like that.
That's right.
Well, however, it would, if we not only just did the obstacle course, but just maybe even have the CANBike or one of the cycling groups present to help advocate for active transportation. It would tie into the theme of that event, as well as with the county of, if the county of Dufferin participates again, they are looking to resurface and rework that rail trail to have a better transportation, active transportation path that connects the communities. So we might be able to somehow tie it in with the Make Mona Shine event, promoting active transportation and being active.
Well, maybe all we do is instead of, oh, no, I was going to say instead of, having like 3 hikes, offered like we did last year with Bruce Trail, we make 2 hikes and 1 bike ride or something like that. However, the bike ride would, again, that means going back through Monoclist Provincial Park, and there are challenges with the logistics of that.
And April is a dicey time of year to be riding on trail as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What-
I mean, I just threw it out there as a option.
What's the timing consideration? Like, we've also potentially next year got this 200th anniversary. When are they proposing to hold that? Do we
July
know?
1st. July 1st.
July, all right.
Well, based on just the past few years, we have seen dwindling numbers in participation. So perhaps the event has run its course as kids are getting, the kids that were participating, they were kind of annual participants. They're older now. They know their bike safety. So maybe it's just something that we look to either just focus on the other events for 2023, or we could also revisit it in 2024 if there's demand for it or people inquire why it's not happening. But based on the last 2 years that the event was held, the participation numbers don't really warrant, I just don't think, maybe it's not worth trying to put it on again next year.
Okay.
Yep, maybe it's time to put it to bed.
And that happens.
Yep.
Okay.
And especially with the bicentennial event, there's lots of other stuff going on, and hopefully Winterfest will be able to move forward.
Yeah. That's for sure. Okay.
And we've got Make Mona Shine. So, all right. Okay. So all in favor of not putting on a 2023 Mona on a bike event? Okay.
Okay.
We've got all in favor. Great.
Yep.
Okay. So moving on to some unfinished business that we keep deferring is the snowshoe lending program. Kim had sent out an email earlier this week in regards to a program for municipalities. Kim, did you want to just quickly provide an overview on that?
Yeah. This is something that, first of all, I thought about because of the incredible opportunity that we've got out at the back of Mono Community Center, where we used to have the disc golf course. We've got that 13 acres of land back there that just begs for us to do something with. And I thought that this would be a very a great use of the land without being too intrusive on it. Just in the winter, we've already
Right.
got CrossFit. We've already got
What location? What location are you talking about?
at Mono Community Center, Mono Center Park in the back. 13 acres,
Okay.
once you go over the bridge
Yep.
where we used to have the disc golf course. And we did some research into other municipalities, and there's the city of Vaughan, town of Deep River, city of Ajax, Whitchurch, Brampton, to name a few, are some of the municipalities that do run a snowshoe lending program. And in the recent programming survey that we did, even though snowshoeing was not one of the activities we asked about, it was one of the ones when people were asked what other programs you would like to see, it was absolutely the most popular one that people brought up, is they'd like to see some type of snowshoeing program. And I know snowshoeing, it was something that years ago, we here at the RAC board, we tried to get going over at the Baker property. At least we talked about it. So it's never left my mind that snowshoeing was something that we could certainly explore. And so with finding out how the other municipalities are running it, it's basically with all of them, with all of the other municipalities, it is a free program. People do have to put a retainer down though for the snowshoes, so that if there's any damage to them, or if there's some reason that they're not returned, we do have their credit cards on file and they will be charged. The logistics of running the program, it's pretty easy. We've got staff that would be available. Shelby, which is one of my full-time recreation, she's my community service coordinator, and she would be able to be out at Mono Center from noon till 4 o'clock or whatever on Friday afternoons. And that would be the time that families could come in and rent or pick up the snowshoes. They would have them, we'd have to work out, how long they could have them for, whether it'd be just for the weekend or whether it'd be for 4 days. And then, bring them back. There would be some of the communities do have a late fee involved, just like lending out library books. There are late fees involved if you don't bring them back on time. And it is a program as well that we can institute with the new software that we've purchased for the recreation program for facility bookings. We've also got the ability to do program registrations. So we would be able to let people sign up right on our new programming software called Perfect Mind, and they could rent and leave the deposit. And we literally would just have to be there to hand out the snowshoes to them. It's, as far as purchasing the snowshoes, we've done a quick, what do you call it? Estimate of what it would cost.
No.
And to get 30 pairs of snowshoes in various sizes to start off with, there is a discount right now applicable. If you purchase them before the end of September, you get an extra $5 off per set that you order. So the cost is $3,659.70 based on a number of different sizes of pairs, like from children who weigh from 20 to 60 pounds up to adults who weigh 250 to 350 pounds. So, the only reason we're saying that is because one of the other municipalities that we contacted, they said that they were, they had to go out and buy snowshoes for that size of individual because they were chastised for not having them for that size. So when you want to include everyone, you have to make sure you cover all your bases. So we did estimate to get 2 pairs in that size as well. This would be something, it's not budgeted for, it's not in the 2022 budget. So it would be something that I would certainly approach the local service clubs for, to see whether or not they would be willing to help to subsidize with some financial support towards the program. I know the service clubs have been looking to Mono to ask us, you know, is there something we can do to help you, because they do help out a number of other communities, and we ask very, very little of the local service clubs. So this would be something that I would certainly go to them with to see whether or not they would help with the purchase of the initial purchase of the snowshoes, so we could get the program going for this year. So it really wouldn't have anything.
It's
RAC
about
members
$100 per
wouldn't
pair
have
then.
anything to do with, like, RAC. There wouldn't be any time on your, or commitment on your part. This would be something 100% run by the RAC department, by RAC staff. And so it wouldn't be, you wouldn't have to worry about any time commitment towards the program. So it's just it is something that I'm looking at doing within the department. Wanted to share it with all of you. Because obviously when I take it to council, they're going to say, did you share it with RAC? And now I can say, yes, I did.
So I have a question, Kim. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Are there any liability issues that need to be concerned about?
No, they would sign a liability waiver, or yeah.
And when you said that it was the most mentioned item on the survey, how many actual families mentioned this?
We received 1,182 responses to our surveys. I don't have the actual survey results in front of me right now. But when I spoke to Emma, who's helping me to put the results together, and I asked her about snowshoeing, she told me, Kim, it was the #1. So I wouldn't hesitate to think that you're up around the 400 to 500 mark.
That people actually wrote on it to say that they wanted a snowshoe program. Well, I'd be it surprises me. That's awesome. But I'd like to know the number.
Okay.
Because very often in those surveys, people don't write anything down, and they're saying half of the people said, we'd like to see snowshoeing. So I'd like to know that number.
Yeah. It
Go
doesn't.
ahead, Dave.
It doesn't surprise me. I know from being on the Mono Nordic board that Mono Nordic Club gets inquiries from people saying, can we do snowshoeing at Mono Nordic? And up until now, the answer has been no. I mean, you can snowshoe on the walking trails at Monora, but we don't specifically have snowshoe trails. And the club has considered building snowshoe trails at Monora, but there are some people in the skiing community that think it would be detrimental to skiing, and so it hasn't gone forward yet. But I can say that snowshoeing is a topic that people call about and ask about. So, and to mention also other opportunities. I mean, just the back 13 acres at Monora, at Mono Center Park is not the only place you can snowshoe. I mean, the Anderson Tract and the 1926 Tract would both be excellent places to snowshoe. And Kim, you know that the Main Bruce Trail now comes through the park?
Yes, so I've heard.
Great trail, by the
And
way.
that connects down to another 100-acre parcel of land just south of the park that belongs to the Bruce Trail now. So there's a lot of opportunity to snowshoe in that area right now.
Right.
And the provincial park as well. And yeah, I do feel like snowshoeing has really become very popularized, especially over the last couple of years during the pandemic. Snowshoes are expensive. A decent pair can range anywhere from $100 to up to $300. So a family of four, that's quite a bit of an investment. So to be able to just borrow some snowshoes just to try them out to see if it's something that it's something that they want to invest in, I think is a fabulous idea, and to get families out and to enjoy the winter trails, I think is a great idea. It's an inclusive sport. Well, for the most part, it's inclusive. Anyone without too much mobility issues can do it, and it's low barrier entry activity. And we do get lots of snow. So when we moved to Mono Center, that was the first thing that we got in the winter was, hey, we need some snowshoes because there's a lot of snow around here.
Okay.
And if it can be subsidized from some local service groups, that's great.
So I'm going to write up a letter and approach the local service groups about it, and pending the outcome of that, we'll say whether or not the program goes forward.
Okay.
That's tight timeline with only 2 weeks for, yeah. Would there be, is there any funds from the rec programming from 2022 that has been left over, considering like Winterfest was canceled, or anything that may be able to go towards the purchase?
I'd certainly look at that, and but because those monies were pegged specifically for those programs, I would have to get the approval from council to be able to use those monies for something other than what they were pegged for.
Right.
So
yeah, I guess there's Winterfest and Mono on a Bike that both got canceled.
exactly. Okay. I will
Any
keep
other
you
thoughts,
posted.
comments? Thank you, Kim, for sharing, and fingers crossed that we'll have some groups step up to help subsidize the cost for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Moving on to new business. Well, Halloween is just around the corner, 6 weeks away. So great to hear that the children's Halloween party is back in the books to plan for that. That's always been such a successful event, and I'm sure kids are really looking forward to Halloween this year in some kind of normal fashion. So the last few events that we had put on, it seems to have grown each year. So I do feel like capacity we'll need to really think about capacity for this year.
Which is 200.
For the entire community center, or just the upstairs and
For the
downstairs?
banquet room. With the downstairs, we have another 100 per room. So by rights, we could have 400 people in there.
Yeah, but at some point, they're all going to end up upstairs, so.
Yes. I try and top it at, keep it as close to the 200 mark as we possibly can. I think we're a pretty full house at 200. And plus, when it comes to knowing how much food to purchase, like as far as, how many, what do you call those things? Not muffins, cupcakes that we hand out for decorating and all of that stuff. So we will do a pre-registration for this. People will need to register, even though there's no cost involved except for if the family if they can bring a donation to the food bank, that would be great. We'll have boxes out for food bank donations. But other than that, there's no fee for anyone to come to the party.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to have a requirement for pre-registration. And then, so will you set aside, are you thinking setting aside a certain number of registrations for just walk-ins, or it's like everyone has to pre-register?
The only walk-ins that we'll permit is if we're not full. So in other words, if on the Friday, it turns out that we're only sitting at 170, we'll advertise on social media. There are limited walk-in registrations available.
Okay.
And when will you start advertising for the event?
It's already in the newsletter for this, like your newsletter, you should be getting it very shortly. It's already in the newsletter. Plus we've already created the flyer and we're going to start putting that flyer out next week. So.
Great.
Do we have a chance to get into In the Hills? Do they have an issue coming out before then?
We've already put it in the Hills.
Good.
Yep. And then there'll be Emma, who is still with us, our summer student. She decided not to return back to school this year. There was thoughts that she was going to go on and get her master's, but she's chosen not to do that. She's COVIDed out from school right now. And so very thankfully, we've been able to, Emma is still with us. And because of that, programming is going strong this year. There's so much going on, and she's got a ton of ideas for programming, and with all of the other things that I'm involved in right now between grants and capital projects, Emma's been an absolute godsend. So yeah, very thankful that Emma is still with us. Oh, and that's what I was saying. Emma is our social media guru. She's the one who knows how to get it out on all these Q&As and the Twitters, and Emma really knows how to push these events. So it's great.
Okay.
Andrew must be relieved.
Yeah, well, Emma and Andrew work fabulously together. They work absolutely, they're wonderful.
Great. So was the schedule going to remain the same as it's had in the past?
Well, that's what, I mean, it works out really well. That's why I sent it to you, the last one that we used, to think that, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If we kind of want to follow through with the same type of format that we've had in the past. I mean, it's been 3 years since we've done it, so it's not like it just happened last year. I think to follow this format, there wouldn't be any reason not to. It works.
Yep.
So refresh my memory.
Do you know of any other?
We don't do any serious food here, right? We don't barbecue. We got
Not
the cupcakes and cookies, and we give away a little goodie bag.
Loot bag. Now the cookies used to come as a donation from our mayor's business. So
Right.
unfortunately, that route is no longer there, unless I understand that she did sell her business to her niece. I can reach out to the niece to see whether or not she'd be willing to donate as we've received in the past, but I can't promise.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So we get any food we bring in, we have to buy it then, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's being
this year.
It's being given away for free?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
yes,
So that's what the budget's covering.
yes.
I remember we had popcorn.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
town
Did
has
we have
popcorn
popcorn or am I
machine.
confusing?
Yeah. And entertainment?
So,
Is this an event where we did entertainment?
yeah, we
Yes.
had those the past, I think, 3 years. We had the hula hoop ladies, and they did like a glow show at the end as the grand finale. I think we had Jake the reptile guy, and
Okay, right,
what
yeah.
else?
The
What else did we
reptile guy
have?
actually, remember, he didn't show up
Um,
last or in 2019. He was scheduled and then just never showed. So it'll be a matter of kind of trying to reach out. Maybe we won't use Jungle Justin again. Maybe we'll find reptile.
Tile.
Reptile.
Snakes.
amphibians, amphibians. There will be no, unless that's a Halloween costume.
Okay. Yeah. So basically we'll follow the same format. Yoni, are you able to reach out to that contact for the glow show?
Yeah, I'll see if because I do have a new email. I'll have to see if I can find their contact information. So I can reach out to them again. What about having like I was just gonna say a magician or a storyteller that could possibly tell a
Storyteller
Halloween
would be
story.
great. Do you know what? The Orangeville Public Library has an outreach person, and I know that because she was at the Cardinal Woods community get together this past Sunday, and she did a big storytelling time. I can reach out to the library, the Orangeville Library, or maybe the Shelburne Library for that matter, to see if they have a storyteller.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, be good.
And perhaps they could do like 2 time slots, 2 or 3 time slots.
Okay.
Did you say the thing about the puppet show?
Yep. What's our budget for entertainment, Kim?
It's a good question. Give me 2 secs, I'll tell you.
Just a note to everyone, unfortunately, I am not available that weekend because I am working all weekend. I'll be working with the county on the Saturday, and then I have another Halloween event that I'm organizing at Shearway Gardens on the Sunday.
Which is fine, just as long as I know, Dave, Sally, Ann, are you going to be available? I found out this afternoon that I have eye surgery, a little less than 2 weeks prior to that. There will be limitations to what I can and cannot do, just as an FYI. But I mean, I will be there. There will just be limitations to what I can and can't do.
Can you not send Emma or somebody like that?
Oh, Emma will be joining us.
Yeah, because I'm
Yes,
sure one
Emma.
of them could do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Emma will 100% be there with us.
I'm at a wedding. That's an away wedding. It's a weekend wedding in Niagara. It's on Saturday. We'll be leaving Saturday morning, and there's an event related to it Sunday. So if there's something I can prepare ahead of time, I'm happy to stuff goodie bags or set things up, as long as it's not on Saturday or Sunday, which means I'm not there for the event, I realize, but I can do things ahead.
Okay, so that basically leaves Dave, Sally. I think Mike said he was available.
Hopefully Mike and Melinda, yes.
Melinda will be there for sure.
Can we
And-
rope Fred in too?
Good
probably.
idea.
We could
Good
probably
idea.
Fred's arm, especially since he doesn't have to run for council.
That's right.
And Craig agreed to help out with the haunted house.
Now
He
Yeah.
he may be helping me at my event on the Sunday, but he may be able to help out to set up the haunted house either on the
That's the
Friday
main thing, is
evening
the setup.
or Saturday.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
as far as the setup is concerned too, I mean, you're welcome to go in, you know, that whole week, you know, during the evenings or whatever works for your schedules to set up the haunted house,
Okay, that sounds good.
right? So you would just have to let me, I'll just give you a key and you can come and go as you please in the evenings.
Okay.
So you've blocked that. You've blocked the community center.
Yep.
That's good.
So the budget for the event is $2,500.
Okay.
For
That's
the
including
entertainment
food.
or for the entire event.
That's the entire event.
Loot
That's-
bags.
Loot
Food.
bags, that's staff time, that's,
Oh, staff time too.
yeah, the treasurer does put, Emma's time into this. And if we use any of the other recreation staff, their time go into it as well.
So how much was spent on food the last event? Do you have a breakdown
Hold on.
of what was allocated to what?
Yeah.
Can you share like and the cost of the hula hoop people and all that stuff? So we have.
Yeah,
an
let me
idea?
see, let me bring up the financials from that. So I just wanted to see what the budget, I just brought up the budget here. Yeah, I will do that. One sec. Okay, so. There we go. Come back here. 2019, okay. Financial summary. Hi. Here it comes. Okay, now let me see if I can figure out how to share this with you guys. My screen, there we go. Okay. Okay, can you see that at all?
Way too small.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Okay. How do you make it bigger? Page layout. Okay, size.
Okay, it's over a couple where it says 100. You see where it says where to go? 100%. Just move it to one to the right.
Oh, got it. Okay.
100%, yeah. So you want it like 200% or something.
Yeah, okay. Oh, still going.
Didn't change, did it?
Didn't change.
You have to enter it or,
Yeah.
hmm.
Now it won't even let me,
No, I know it's grayed out now.
yeah.
Maybe you can just tell us the big ticket items.
Yeah, okay, so entertainment, they were called Hoop You, $621.50.
Wow.
And Jungle Justin No Show. We got all the candy donated. So we had gone around, that's right, to the different grocery stores and they had donated. Draw prizes $225.08. Advertising in Snap and the Citizen, advertising cost us about $290. We spent $226 on food. Craft supplies, about $102. Craft, like candy for the cupcakes, $108. Paint and brushes and cups, another $78. Pumpkins, we spent about $160 on.
That's right. We had the little pumpkins and kids could decorate them themselves.
That's right. So we
Yeah.
spent, so the pumpkins that got carved, like that we had as decoration, we spent $45 on those, but the pumpkins that we had for the children to be able to decorate, we spent $112 on those.
Right. Okay.
So our
I think
total,
they were like $2 a pumpkin or something.
yeah. So our total expenses, not counting staff time, which Emma wouldn't have been at that, but unless there was some time put in for the other Dave and Shelby, our total expenses were $2,077.49. And we only had a budget of $2,000. So we didn't do too bad.
Okay, so we've got $500 more this year? 2,500 you said?
Yeah, and you know, I look at that and I say, okay, considering we put on a party for 200 people, that means we're spending $10. Is that right?
Well,
$10.
There was more than 200 people at the 2019 party. It was packed all day or all
Yeah.
afternoon.
But I mean, I'm saying that if we can put a party on for $10 a person, it's less than that.
Well, if it's $200, $2,000 and there were 200 kids, it's $10 per child.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got that right.
Yeah, I got it right.
now we're up to 2,500, so it's $1,250, isn't it?
Yeah, now it'd be $1,250, but I don't see any staff pay in that spreadsheet from what I can see.
That's what I said. That does not include staff time.
Right, so we need 2,500 if there's going to be some staff. I mean, it might not be that much, but, and we know inflation. Every time you hear on the radio, there's inflation. So
yeah, I would imagine the entertainment, if Hoop You is available, they'll probably be a little bit more, especially because they are coming in from the GTA, I believe, and they did charge mileage. So, you know, with gas inflation, I'm sure that'll go up. So we just have
For
to,
sure.
I would maybe budget 700 for them, unless we can find someone else.
I would sure like to have people more local. I'm just wondering if there's some local entertainers rather than bringing somebody in from downtown Toronto with They charge you for your time and their gas. I don't know anything about Hoop U. Maybe they're amazing and we want to have them. I have no idea. Never even heard of them. But
And if
I'm
you wanted,
wondering if there's
and if you, yeah,
if there's
if you want to
local-
research to see if there's more local talent.
So I mean, I know there's magicians that are local, for example, if that's what we wanted to do. Theater Orangeville, I mentioned it in the thread there. They might have little skits that they can do. They're great for storytelling if we can't get the library. I'm just trying to brainstorm what's out there. I no longer have children at home, so I'm not really in touch with that, but I just think if there's local people, I'd prefer to have that as an option.
There might be some local buskers and stuff too.
True.
Well, I'm happy to check out the library if other members of the committee want to reach out to some of these other possibilities.
Yeah, and do you want to see if there's any local magicians?
I can reach out and do that because you're kind of busy, Anne.
Thanks, Sal.
I can try to reach out and see if I can find some local buskers or someone.
Great. Thank you, Sally.
Okay.
I'm
But
just
meanwhile,
trying.
I guess we should at least touch base with these to make sure they're even available. This Hoop U. Maybe we should just reach out, find out how much they would cost and what it would cost, and if they're even available. They might be not available. Just saying. Just in case we need them.
Mhm.
Well, I can also get a quote from one of the entertainment companies that I'm working with for the Shearway event, see if they can provide an estimate based on the 2 hours. And we can do a cost comparison.
I don't mind touching base with Theater Orangeville if people think that might be worth checking out. See if they have sometimes they have students even that do little skits and stuff. Would you like me to check it out?
Do you want to do that? Because I was going to contact David Nairn and that over.
Okay, well then, okay. Why don't I let you do that, Sally? Sally, you and I can talk about it, okay?
Okay.
Between us, we'll do it.
And there's probably
Yeah, even if it's like if they have any actors that want to just dress up in character and interact with the kids and be
yeah, well, I'll reach
kind of
out to him.
roaming.
Maybe there's in their student program they have like a youth thing, so maybe they have some of them that would come over
Mhm.
and do something. Because also some of them might want volunteer hours, although they probably don't have a problem getting them. The other thing is maybe there's a local clown, not Al the Pal. I think he's retired, but maybe somebody else that's taken over his space.
There might be lots of clowns there since. Do the children dress up, by the way?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
And so do we.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm going to miss it. I love Halloween. I love Halloween.
Okay, so except for Orangeville Library and Shelburne Library, where I'll try and get storytellers, I'll leave it up to Sally and Anne to figure out the entertainment. Does that
Okay,
work?
but can you give us also Joanne, are you going to do you have the contact information for the hula hoop people just in case we don't find them?
Yeah, I'll reach out to Hoop U and get a quote from them, and
so you're doing
then
that.
I'll also get an estimate from the entertainment company that I'm working with for Shearway to get an estimate from them. But if the two of you want to look for any other local entertainment, that would be great. In
And
Theater Orangeville.
there may be some talent through the high school. Sometimes there's a young magician or somebody or a young juggler that's actually quite good and might come out or something through one of the schools.
I'll see if I can't get the pumpkins donated
Hmm.
for the kids to decorate. And obviously I'll try and get all the candy donated again.
Where did you get the pumpkins last time, Kim? Do you recall?
It's a really good question.
believe-
Sorry, go
I think
ahead.
it was it was just one of the local farm. It was like, I think 2 different local farms. One, I forget what it's called, just down the road from the town office. And then another one by, on Dufferin County Road between the 4th and the 5th, there's a pumpkin farm as well.
What, on Loma Center Road over by the brewery?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lady there that sells pumpkins every year, and I find her prices are very reasonable. I always buy my
they're like-
pumpkins from her.
Does anybody know
Yeah,
what her name is?
I don't know what her name is, but she's there every year. And in
Oh,
fact,
Kim, you might have her name from the receipt that I submitted for the purchase of the pumpkins from 2018 and 2019.
Okay,
It was a
think
very handwritten, scribbled receipt, though.
yeah, last year she was even expanding her program. She was, she's getting a little bit older, but she had her daughter and her daughter-in-law were helping her with the pumpkin stand last fall. And they had a couple of new features. And so I'd like to give her the business if we can, at least some of it.
Yeah, well, as much as I like to give business to our locals, if I can get them donated, that's the road I'm gonna go.
Yep, okay.
Because we are so tight on budget on these things that, you know, and I'm certainly happy to, you know, make a big flyer the day of to advertise all the companies that have donated to, you know, to help make this a success. But yeah, this event is going for as much as we possibly can in donations.
Well, maybe we do a mix of donated and purchased pumpkins. We'll see.
Okay.
For the cupcakes, didn't someone bake the cupcakes?
I did.
Sally did. I remember that.
I bought a lot of mixes and I made a lot of, I can do that again if you want. You just, I mean, you can make 48 really fast and you double that, you got 9, well, I can make them. And I made really interesting icing. Black icing is really disgusting.
Now
Yeah.
you're
Did you use
supposed
food coloring?
Pardon?
Did you use food coloring? How did you make it black?
Food coloring. And had to do black and green and orange.
so
That
those
must
are
have
the
been messy.
you're gonna make the cupcakes for the craft program,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Why, you want them to eat too?
No, it's just if you're making them to be consumed, to eat, you have to make them in a certified kitchen. So you'd have to make them at the Mono Community Center's kitchen.
Can I
It
bring
is-
my pans or do I have to buy new ones
you-
or are their pans there?
Nope, you can bring your pans.
Okay. Well, when you're doing the haunted house, I'll go over there and I'll bake like a day before or something.
Ellie,
Perfect.
that sounds like fun. I'll bring my mixer and help you with that.
Okay. We just need to find some, I just used mixes and you can get them.
Oh, yeah,
for-
it'll be mixes. Yeah, 100%. It'll be mixes.
Yeah.
We'll watch
Oh,
for
I
the
bet-
sales. We'll watch
I
for
bet
the
Felicia will want, or maybe, does Costco have baking mixes?
You can get them if you watch the flyers at all the grocery stores locally. You can sometimes get them for $2, and I think each mix makes 48 cupcakes.
3
Perfect.
for $5. That's what we're gonna be looking for, Sally.
Okay.
3 boxes for $5. I'll bring my pans.
Okay.
And then we're thinking then that they can be edible then, correct?
Yeah, the kids. That's the idea.
Yeah,
So,
Right. Okay, yeah, and we can make them up there. And is there a freezer there if we make them like a week ahead of time or not?
there's a freezer. Yeah.
No,
There's
we don't
two.
have to do it all this day before. That week sometime, we'll find a time, Sally, and
Sure.
we'll have a blast. It'll be fun.
Okay.
And you have 3 stoves at a time you can use, 3 ovens.
And
Okay.
so we
And-
really want 1 per kid. We need 200, right?
Well, we don't have 200 children only because 200 includes adults as well. So normally we have about 100 children.
And
Well,
not
we'll
every,
have
child will have one.
I have known adults who like cupcakes too. So just saying.
We could always have
Um,
the kids decorate them and put them on a tray for other people to eat.
Sally, I bet I'm sure Felicia would be up for helping out with the baking of the cupcakes as well.
Okay,
She
I
likes
don't
to bake,
actually,
so.
because it's only
Oh,
like
okay.
100 in a bit or whatever. It's not that hard, but Felicia can join us if she's out those
That'd be
days.
great, guys.
I
That
remember
would,
in 2019 that we gave tickets at registration for
Yep.
cupcake decorating and the pumpkin decorating because
Yep.
there was only a limited number of cupcakes and pumpkins. So with it, one child could have one or the other.
no, we
I can't
gave
remember.
each child gets a ticket for a pumpkin, for a cupcake, a loot bag, and then the Rice, we've got 24 dozen cookies and Rice Krispie squares, which were the food for people to be able to eat. They were open to eat as ever they want now. Those will all have to be individually wrapped this year. We won't be able to put plates out like that. So
Why is
everything
that?
will have to, because of COVID.
So is that based on stuff like Guelph Public Health, or is
Well, you're
that
not
a
supposed
town of Mono thing?
We did.
Well, I would just say trying to be cognizant of germs, that we don't put plates of Rice Krispie squares and plates of cookies out for people to be able to wrap, unless I'm just thinking if we hand them out from the kitchen. So if
Yeah, I think that's a better
we put
idea.
why don't we do that? Yeah, why don't we do that? We'll just people can come and, we'll just hand them to them from the kitchen. And we also served apple cider, lemonade, and we had water with lemons and oranges in it. And we had tea and coffee. And then we had a big slab cake.
Which was donated,
No, we got that from Sobeys.
but the slab cake would have to be cut and then served to people from the kitchen as well.
Right.
I think I could skip that.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Just
sugar.
do finger food. Cookies and Rice Krispies, or finger food is easiest.
Okay.
I think that cake, you can skip the cake. We can make extra cupcakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Good. Okay.
And then for the craft station, who is going to be procuring all those items?
Pardon me. Sorry, you broke up there. I didn't
Is that something
catch
you
that.
can do?
Couldn't
Can you
hear
repeat
you.
it?
Arts and crafts table?
I think, did I do that? Okay, I know with the decorating the
Arts
cupcakes,
and
last time I
crafts
did it,
table.
decorating the cupcakes was self-serve. I made the cupcakes. I think we put them out there. They were, the icing was out there, the candies were out there, and the parents did it with their children. And I think I might have set up the craft table as well with directions and self-serve, so the parents did it with their children. Unless we can get some high school students that want their volunteer hours to come out and help with that, but it was all kind of pre-set up. I guess I can do that too. I can go on Pinterest and find some fun things to do that are pretty easy. And then I'll go look in the room, because there's probably a lot of craft stuff left in there. In the storage room, I might be able to reuse a whole bunch of stuff. There's probably all sorts of stuff. But I'll set up like 2 or 3 things that the kids can do with their parents.
That's great.
Self-serve. Although I think I was standing around there.
Right.
Somebody kind of has to be standing there a little bit just to.
Yeah, well, I think one of our daughters was there with you too.
Who was?
One of our daughters, probably Lauren.
No, that was a long time ago. Lauren hasn't been there for years. No, you know who was there with me? It was Fred's
Oh, the Syrian,
Syrian kids. They volunteered,
Oh.
and their daughter helped out.
That's
excuse me.
you. Yeah, I do remember the pumpkins and the cupcakes. There was someone there to manage that. Otherwise, it would have been a gong show, I think.
Actually, I think Franca might have helped out at crafts too, but just more as
Oh, yes.
as a
Yeah.
manager. I don't know if she wants to help out this year or not.
She normally likes coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also had the draw prizes for the, like the kids did their, what do you call it? Costume parade. But then, we also did draw tickets.
We never
that
had a
had-
costume parade.
I think you're right. I think we kind of ended up stopping, not doing the costume parade. Instead, we just had draw tickets that were handed out at registration. Parents
Mhm.
filled in the tickets given to them, and they were put in the appropriate age pumpkins, or the pumpkins with the appropriate ages. And then we just drew. So there were 2 prizes in each category, and we had 5 categories: 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 11, 12 and over. And Melinda was good enough to purchase the prizes, and we gave her a $150 budget for that. So I'll see if Melinda can do that again. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we need to get moving. Time is rushing onwards.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. Okay. Let me just look for the agenda here. Okay, so we're good with the Halloween party.
Sorry,
we
can I
move
just
on
say,
to-
so, Dave,
Oh,
you
yes.
and Mike,
Go ahead.
will be downstairs in the, what do you call that?
Haunted house.
Haunted house, yes.
Haunted house,
Haunted house.
the day of, right? Okay.
Yep. And I'll bring some decorations and,
Okay. Oh, and don't forget your man for outside.
yes, of course.
A pumpkin bum.
And we also had a spot set up for a picture taking.
Oh, right.
Craig had set that up. So if it's possible for him to set that up for it, because that's kind of people can do it themselves, just kind of photo booth, like a photo area.
What if we had, because the pumpkin bum is so much fun, what if we used him as part of the photo op area?
But he's usually outside.
Yeah.
Well, we could have him inside.
Can you
He's
Mm,
such a,
Yes,
I love having him outside as you're coming into the event, and there's this photo
Yeah,
or
he has to be staked down to the ground. He can't stand on a hard floor. So,
Dave,
So
you could
bottom heavy.
Dave, you could carve 2 of your beautiful, unusual pumpkins and put them on some hay bales, and then if we had a hay bale, and then somebody could sit on the hay bale.
we always have a little display in the front entranceway there and under the front, what do you call it, porch?
So photo booth will be on the front porch. How's that?
Except Pumpkin Butt Man can't go there either, right? He has to go on the side near the tennis court.
Well, we could put him in the front, that little circle island in the front of the, he could go there. These are details.
Out front?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll work out the details later.
okay. So
Anything else?
I'll put Dave, you're in charge of the photo booth as well.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now, one other thing I need to bring up, Mike's not here tonight, but he did ask if we were going to do the Halloween house decorating contest again this year. I said I would bring it up with all of you. It was something that we started because of COVID, because we couldn't do the party. He said that his kids certainly enjoyed it. I guess they were part of the judges last year. I'm throwing it at you guys, because if you want to do it, it means picking the day. More than likely it would be the Thursday, October. It'll either be Friday, October 28th, or Thursday, October 27th would be the judging day.
I think that's a lot of extra work because we probably need to be over at the community center setting up. Because
Well, I don't think it's fair to judge before Halloween night, because a lot of people don't do their Halloween decorating until, or they don't finish it until Halloween itself. Like when I used to do it when we lived in the city,
Mhm.
I would have all the decorations out 2 weeks in advance, except I didn't do all my pumpkins until the last day, because pumpkins don't last very long.
and
Right.
squirrels eat them.
I'd be doing pumpkins all day long on Halloween day, so that I'd have like 15 different pumpkins up front. So if anybody else is doing something similar to that, it's not fair to judge 3 days before.
Fair.
The other thing, Kim, I don't know. To me, it's like if somebody, well, unless there's a separate volunteer that's going to go around on Thursday who's not involved with setting up the haunted house or doing other stuff, that's a lot. The other thing, which I don't know if you've ever driven. Have you driven by the end of our driveway at Halloween when Pumpkin Buttman is out there? And then last year Dave put out the Buttman on the toilet. But you know how in Erin they do the Scarecrow Festival? It would be fun to have like a not this year, but it could be something for next year. Is like a pumpkin person like celebration contest in front of, so people would, the idea, you use a pumpkin, but you have to make it into a pumpkin person, like Pumpkin Buttman or Pumpkin, and Dave said they did that down in Jackson, New Hampshire, didn't they, Dave?
Yes, they did.
And some of the ideas people come up with are fantastic. But that would,
I
not
love
for this
that.
year, but in the future. And like, because when did you, Pumpkin
Oh, that's
Buttman?
fun. Oh, another thing that
Nobody's talking.
I thought that was,
another thing that one of the communities in I think they do is they bring their to a designated location, and maybe it's, say, the town hall or the community center, and line up their pumpkins, and then their pumpkins get judged the day after.
that's
Or
fun,
it's just
because,
like a big pumpkin display.
anyway,
That's
not
kind
for
of
this
that
year.
thing,
I think
too.
the house judging, I mean, if there's somebody who wants to take that on, that's big. Yeah, with the party.
Yeah, I don't have time for that.
But I would do it if it was on the
And I
actual
don't want to be driving around.
Monday night.
The only thing is, yeah, so Monday night is October 31st. Do we want people, out there driving around with kids running around? And I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah,
But I mean,
unless it's during the day.
last year, how many entries were there? There weren't a huge number, were there? It was like a dozen.
About a dozen, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was all
was there
over the
prize?
town. Do you remember that? We were from one end of the town to the other in judging them.
But aren't most of them in the subdivisions?
No, some are like, we were up on Mono Center Road. We were up on the Mono Agila town line, like at the, in the village.
Okay.
We were over in Cardinal Woods. We were up in Purple Hill. We were up in Island Lake. We were literally like,
Okay.
it took,
That's a lot of driving.
It took, when we went and judged them, I think Todd and I were out for about 3.5 hours.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind doing that. mean, it's dark by 5:30 at Halloween, and it's not that onerous. And I don't think, if you're one car driving around the township of Mono, you're not adding much to the traffic.
No, that's true. Now, last year we had, I think Melinda went, I went, like, who else went?
At night?
Mike went. I think we had about 5 different people, like, just so that there wasn't just one judge. And
Okay.
I know just with what's coming up for me in October, as far as my eye is concerned,
Hmm.
I'm gonna have had enough.
Okay, well, it's up to the committee. If you want to
Up
do
to-
it, I'd be willing to be a judge. I don't
So
think we
I'm
should-
I'm
I think
not, I personally am
Halloween
not
week.
interested, but if Mike wants to do it, and you and Mike, I trust you and Mike to be good judges of that. I'd support it in that way. If there's a couple of people that want to drive around and do that judging, that's great. It doesn't interest me.
I don't know. I feel like Mike might be probably out trick or treating with his kids on Halloween, unless the judging is done during the afternoon before.
No, it has to be
most
at
of the
nighttime
trick-or-treaters go
to
out.
get, it has to be at nighttime to get the effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's great. Some of these decorations are phenomenal. Like, they're great. I certainly enjoyed
Well,
it when I did it last year. But I know
I'm just being mindful
I
of
know I'll be busy October 31st with handing out candy, and I've got grandchildren, and
Yeah,
so
yeah. Maybe it's something. Let's park that and talk about it via email. I'm just being mindful of the time. It's we've got 7 minutes left.
Right.
If we wanted to, involve Melinda and Mike in the conversation, and kind of just hash out how the logistics would work with people participating, or is it just that you drive around and like, do people have to sign up to participate in that contest?
Yeah, they
I
have
can't
to-
remember how.
yeah.
That was done.
we let the people know that we're running it, and then they have to send in a form letting us know that they want to be included. It's only Mono residents that they want to be included, and then we get their address, and we set up a map of, or we give that to all of the judges. You got to remember, we pay mileage
Is
for
there
it.
prize?
Yeah, there's first, second, and third.
What is the prize?
And what did that?
Depends on what we can
What
find.
budget does that come out of?
Comes out of our Halloween budget.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's where I've taken the money from in the past 2 years, because we haven't had the Halloween,
Right. Okay.
because we haven't had the Halloween party. We've had money to be able to do this.
Right.
Plus we used to do the coloring contest where the kids colored in pictures of Halloween related pictures, and then they sent them in, and if they sent us in a picture, we put them on a list as well, and then we went and delivered loot bags to all of those children. We were delivering last year we delivered 220 loot bags
Wow.
on the Friday
Wow.
before Halloween. Yeah, 220 loot bags. That's a lot of
So
work.
how about this? Yeah, that is a lot of work. How about we get the estimate for the big ticket items like the entertainment, see where that is within the budget, and then if there's room, if we have the budget for prizing for the Halloween house contest, then we can consider it.
The prizes
I would
for the
hate to take
Halloween-
money away from the party.
Honestly, I don't think there's going to be fun. I by the time I purchase prizes normally run about, before 3 prizes about $150. And then there's mileage that we pay to everybody for going out and doing it. So it's probably about a $300 event. Which,
If we have to make a choice, I'd prefer to have the money go towards a party where many more people are involved and get a little benefit, as opposed to, 3 people getting first, second, third prize. It did make sense when
Yeah.
COVID was on. I guess I think I'd rather, like I said, if we have to make a choice, I'd prefer it go to a big smash up of a party, which unfortunately I won't be able to attend, but rather than driving all over. And I am also concerned about any cars on the road during Halloween. When children are running around, they're excited, they're hyped up with the sugar. Not that you're not a careful driver, Dave, that's not what I'm saying. I just think kids are kids, and I don't think it's an ideal time to be out in a car.
What about this? How about we try that idea, but more push it towards Christmas decorating?
again, budget.
Right, but with that, I guess that would be part of the 2022 budget. Christmas, like any kind of activation in December.
Mhm.
Well, if there's any monies left over from Halloween, maybe that's something that we can consider.
Okay. Or maybe what we do is just defer it for this year, and consider whether or not we want to put it in the budget for next year. Or maybe I love this pumpkin man, idea that instead of decorating your house, it's put a pumpkin man out in front and we'll come along and look at your,
Or they
Yeah,
send,
that's
they
a
could
fun
send, they could
concept.
send in a picture. You don't even need to drive around. Something like that. Makes it easier.
right,
Yeah.
as long as they send in the picture
Okay.
that's in front of their house.
Mhm.
We're just starting to come up to 7 o'clock. So if there's anything else with the Halloween party that's pertinent that we need to discuss right now, then I'd like to just pick a date for our next meeting.
We'd best do one maybe around the middle of October.
I'd say October
Yeah,
20th.
What about the 13th? It just gives us 2 more weeks prior to the event so that we have a little bit more time to just dial in all the planning for the Halloween party.
So
Dave,
that's
can you
immediately
let-
after Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'm not available. I'm not available on the 13th.
I am not available on the 13th. I'm flying home from Alberta.
Okay. The 20th then?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I may or may, you may have Emma, depending on how my eye is. My surgery is scheduled for the morning of the 14th.
I'm okay on that day too, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody now. And I'll check the minutes. Bye now.
Bye.
Diane?
Okay, we're okay on the 20th or any time that week, actually.
Okay, great.
And we'll go back to 5 o'clock. I just had to have 5:30 tonight. You good
Sure.
with 5
Yep.
o'clock, everyone? Okay.
5 works for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, great. Thanks,
Okay, and
everyone.
then we'll just,
Meeting
okay, so we'll
Good.
just defer what,
Good night,
Yeah.
everyone.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.